So any questions on what we just covered?
So I actually have a question on my end. What are
Yes.
some of the biggest mistakes you see agents making when introducing this to their clients?
I think, like I kind of talked about before, is they focus more on what they typically sell life insurance for, that those living benefits, the cash value within the policy, setting yourself up for retirement, having some for the next generation. For survivorship, it really is talking about that next generation and that preservation of wealth. So for the clients that you're going to talk to about this, they already have other assets. They're not looking for potentially another policy, and if they are, that's a separate policy from the survivorship. When you're talking survivorship, it really is going to be that death benefit focused sale that's going to talk about how are you going to position the next generation to succeed and pass that on versus a current generation and covering the mortgage, providing income for retirement. Those are sales that I find a lot of agents kind of get trapped into, knowing those talking points without realizing that they have to pivot when you are talking about survivorship cases to a bigger way of thinking and to really understand that the client's really looking for that protection portion of the life insurance versus that protection slash cash value that you may be normally used to selling on your day-to-day interactions.
And kind of like a follow-up to that, say I was introducing this to a client, what are some of the key points that I should focus on to really sell it?
It's really going to be about that estate preservation. You're going to really want to talk to them about the fact that it is a second to die policy, which is another name for it. And it's really going to be that once both pass, what's going to happen for that next generation. So the key points that you're going to be focused on is, what are you looking to preserve in your estate? Whether that's a business, whether you want to fund a trust for special needs or want to donate to a charity. What is it that you're looking as a legacy versus what are the immediate needs that you may have, like I say, in those other sales of, okay, we got to pay off the mortgage, we got to fund the kids' colleges. This is more a legacy sale. So keying in on those legacy points and showing how survivorship is going to be able to, however much their evaluation is, uh, uh, just some quick things on kind of, whatever they value their estate is. Ask them, what are you going to evaluate your estate 20, 30 years from now when you're actually going to be passing? Okay, what's that number going to be minus the proposed exception, 40% tax bill? This is what we need to secure in coverage in order to pay that tax bill. Now, once we find that number, are you going to want to add any additional to add to that generational wealth building? And that's really how you need to position it, is talking about that legacy, that next generation, that preservation of current assets by paying off that tax burden that you may have, or conversely, having that preservation of that peace of mind of, funding a special needs trust or making sure that your money goes to the charity that you really want, and those contributions. It's really about that legacy and that peace of mind of their money working and their assets working how they want once they pass.
And how can agents avoid overcomplicating this, especially like if they're working with clients who aren't financially sophisticated?
So I would say that the best way to not overcomplicate it is to just ask them simple questions. And this is your normal fact finding of, what do you value most? Are you looking to have a legacy? And it's really going to be for the clients that this kind of makes sense with. They should be at least somewhat financially savvy, or they should have somebody that is financially savvy, that is part of their circle, that you may want to get involved with this. And that's one thing that I find that agents sometimes miss, is not including all relevant parties in the conversation. When you're selling a survivorship to someone that has $100 million estate, you're not just selling it to the client, you're selling it to their tax attorney, their lawyer, their financial advisor, if that's not yourself. There really are other parties that need to be involved, and identifying who those parties are early, and getting kind of everyone at the table, not necessarily all at once. You can have these conversations separate, but really understanding that if the clients themselves are not financially savvy enough to understand the need for that estate protection, somebody in their inner circle is, and that's who you want to also loop in. Once you kind of get the clients hooked on the idea of this is a product that is going to help protect that legacy that you've spent a long time building. And that's really kind of one of those key points, is that protection of that legacy. If someone spent the past 50 years, going from zero to hero, as they call it, they were poor, now they own 20 businesses, and they did it all themselves. Well, you want to protect that legacy. This is how you do it. So really having those generational concepts, and understanding that if the client's not financially savvy enough, to bring someone in once they get hooked on the idea of this is how you protect that legacy. That's really the selling point to the client, is that legacy protection.
Gotcha. Yeah, thanks so much.
Mm-hmm.
So my last question is, if anyone does have any questions, how do they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So I probably should have had my phone number and email up. I will do that right now. Give me 1/2 second. Let me just stop sharing. But if you contact us at Penny, myself or any one of the other brokerage managers will be happy to assist. But for myself, and let me just share this real quick. I probably should have had that in the presentation, so I apologize that it's going to look a little odd right now. So phone number direct to me, 916-960-8723, M Gantner, Gantner at Penny Insurance. But really, if you contact Penny Insurance through any of our means, it can get routed to myself or one of the other brokerage managers, and we all are willing, able, and happy to assist you with these cases. And we understand that these cases take some time and do have a lot of moving parts, and that's what we're here to help support with, making sure that you're able to position this in the best way and able to keep the client engaged and moving forward as they go through the entire journey to get this type of insurance purchased.
And we will be providing everyone with a copy of this webinar. If they missed anything or just want to view it again, we'll send it within 24 hours to everyone who registered. So there doesn't look like there are any questions that I'm seeing in the chat.
Okay.
So at this time, I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us today, and hope to see you next time.
Thank you, everybody.